Hi, it's John. Welcome to my channel, EV Intuition, where I'm helping you understand about electric vehicles. In today's video, what I want to talk about is a common recent trend in the EV world, and that is of a non-Tesla doing fast charging at a Tesla Supercharger. There's some caveats or things you ought to be aware of in case you plan to do that today or in the near future. So let's get started. Before I begin, I want to remind you that if you like the content of my videos, please subscribe and give me a like or send me any comments that you may have. Today I'm talking about non-Tesla vehicles charging at a Tesla supercharger. Now Tesla separates their superchargers into three different categories, so you need to be aware of this. And the first category that you ought to be aware of is that there are Tesla-only superchargers. Now, to review, Tesla has three versions or models of superchargers out in the United States today. They're referred to as version 2, version 3, and version 4. Now, version 2 and 3 look very similar. They have the red and white look with the hollow middle cabinet. And to distinguish version 2 versus version 3 is not easy to do just by looking. You have to open up the app and know what power it's providing. A version 2, the oldest one, provides 150 kilowatts of power, whereas the version 3 provides 250 kilowatts of power. They also have this characteristic of a pretty short cable, maybe only 6 feet long, because these chargers were really designed to support Tesla vehicles only. And the way Teslas are designed is that the charge port is on the rear driver's side part of the car. And so you back into the Tesla Supercharger, and there's just a short distance between the cabinet and the vehicle. So you don't need a long plug. Well, as Tesla has now opened these up to other vehicles, that sometimes creates a problem. We'll get into that a little more. But let me finish the last version, the most recent version of Tesla Supercharger V4 has been better designed to handle all types of electric vehicles. Posts are typically put in the middle of your lane, and the cord lengths are much longer. I think they're close to 9 feet long. That's something to keep in mind. And the look of the V4 is also a lot different. It's a solid cabinet, a little taller than the V2 and 3s, and can provide up to 500 kilowatts of power. Now let's go back to that first category where there's Tesla-only superchargers. Now, Tesla-only superchargers are typically the version 2, the oldest models. They do not support other vehicles other than Teslas. So there's a fair number of those out there. So just be aware of that. Now, you may try to say, well, John, how do I find which superchargers work with my vehicle to begin with? And I always say the best way is that most vehicle manufacturers provide you with an app or software on your vehicle that helps you locate fast chargers. If you do a search for it, they'll take you to fast chargers that are compatible. And some of them, such as Rivian today, provide you that you can search for Tesla Superchargers, or include that as a filter search in looking for chargers. Other manufacturers do. Not all, but that's the first place to look. The second place to look is Tesla provides on their website a tesla.com/find us webpage that contains all their Tesla superchargers. Now, as an example, I'm showing you searching an area of upstate New York, central New York, around the Syracuse area. And I did a search, and you can see the 3 red dots that indicate supercharger locations. Now, notice if you look very closely, there's 3 different icons in it. Now, if the icon just has a single bolt, charge bolt, or lightning bolt on it, that means it's a Tesla-only charger. So that's what I'm showing here. And in this particular location, which is located in Liverpool, New York, just north of Syracuse, you can see that there's 8 stalls, 8 chargers, and they're 150 watts. This is a V2 Tesla supercharger, and it is only for Tesla vehicles. So non-Teslas would not be able to go to this location. So that's the first category of Tesla superchargers. Now let's get into the second category of Tesla superchargers, ones that support non-Teslas. And Tesla refers to them as the second category as supporting all EVs. And the reason why the second category, supports all EVs is that Tesla has built into these superchargers what's referred to as a magic dock, or essentially a CCS to Tesla or NACS adapter right in the supercharger cabinet. And you can, as shown in this video, just pull the handle and the connector and pull it off the charger, and it has the CCS connector, which you can just plug into your vehicle. So that makes it physically compatible. The thing that you have to do to activate that is first download the Tesla app and make sure that you indicate or select the charger EV and find the supercharger site you're looking for. Make sure you add your vehicle to the vehicle details, and then also add your payment method, because they're going to charge you through your payment method. Once you've done that and selected the charger, it will begin charging your vehicle. The nice part about these type of superchargers is they support every CCS charger vehicle that exists. So if you've got a CCS or a non-Tesla vehicle, which is referred to as the combined charging standard, then you can go to this second category of superchargers and plug in the CCS adapter that's built in right into the charger and get started and charge. Now, the one other thing I want to point out to you is, well, the price does show in the site, because now I'm taking another look using the Find Us website around central New York, and you can see that there is a location in Parrish, just south of Syracuse, that has the Magic Dock in it. And if you look at the particular icon, it is the lightning bolt with some waves on the side of it, a couple lines on the side of it. That's how you distinguish it from the Tesla only supercharger. So if you see this type of icon, you know that it supports all EVs, CCS and NACS. And it gives you the price of charging any EV there, in this case, 51 cents per kilowatt hour. The thing to recognize, though, is if you came to this site with a Tesla, the price is actually less expensive. I went through my app for the Tesla and just went to the price for this, and it's actually 39 cents per kilowatt hour as a Tesla owner. So there is a discount for Tesla owners at these sites. Just want to let you know that Tesla owners a little premium price or price break. So that's how you use a Tesla supercharger that is open to all electric vehicles. Now, the third category of superchargers that Tesla has is what they refer to as the NACS supercharger. Now, NACS stands for North American Charging Standard. Tesla created this standard, and it was proprietary when they first created the standard, but they opened the standard up, and it is now the official standard that all vehicle manufacturers selling cars in the United States are going to comply to and start building their vehicles to. But we're in that transition period where many of their vehicles, non-Tesla vehicles, still have the CCS connector in. But starting in 2025 and beyond, some of their vehicles, maybe many of them, are going to now have the NACS connector on them. So what Tesla's been doing is allowing certain manufacturers opening up their network to those particular networks. Now, that network is limited today to 6 particular EV manufacturers, and that's Ford, GM, Nissan, Polestar, Rivian, and Volvo. Now, here in 2025, it's expected that this network will be opened up to Kia, Mercedes-Benz, and Lucid in a short period of time here. It'll continue to open up to more and more electric vehicle manufacturers. Now, what happens with these vehicles is a lot of times these vehicles provide software through their app or on their car that can take you to these particular Tesla supercharger locations, and you'll get billed through the native app or the account that you've set up with your particular vehicle manufacturer. The other key piece of this, though, is if you have a CCS connector, like most of them are today, because they've been built with CCS receptacles, you're going to have an adapter. Now, some of the vehicle manufacturers are providing these for free, others are putting them on sale, and you're going to have to purchase them, or you can buy them from third-party vendors. But the bottom line is if you have a CCS receptacle in your vehicle, you need an adapter still, because these Tesla locations that are deemed NACS Superchargers only have a NACS connector. So you'll need that adapter. If you have a vehicle from one of these supported manufacturers, then use the software, use the adapter, plug in, and you can charge like a owner of a Tesla vehicle. Once again, I just want to point out that Tesla discounts the cost at these sites for Tesla vehicles. So if now going to our Find Us website and looking in around the Syracuse area, we find the location at the Destiny Mall in Syracuse has a NACS Supercharger. And you can see that it has a symbol of what looks like a NACS connector, looking at the NACS connector on it in the red. And you can see at this particular location, the prices vary depending on time of day. And it's giving you here in this particular view the price for all non-Tesla vehicles, which at its peak is 45 cents per kilowatt hour. Now I checked what the price is for a Tesla at that. It's actually 34 cents per kilowatt hour. So there's a savings of 11 cents per kilowatt hour if you're a Tesla owner. So I just want to point that out. But the bottom line is this price still may be less expensive than some of the CCS chargers that are available to you in that area. I looked at some of the CCS chargers in the Syracuse area, and they tend to be Electrify America superchargers, and they're about 56 cents per kilowatt hour. So you still may save money using the Tesla Supercharger. So summarizing, out of the three types of Tesla Superchargers, there are two ways for you, a non-Tesla vehicle owner, to charge. You can charge at the Magic Dock Superchargers, or you can, if you're one of the vehicle manufacturers that Tesla has opened up their supercharger network to you, you can charge at any V3 or V4 Tesla Supercharger, which is referred to as a NACS Supercharger. Now, the last thing I want to mention to you is in regards to parking orientation. One of the things you got to keep in mind is that the Tesla V2 and V3 superchargers, which make up the majority in the United States, have a fairly short cable and were oriented or designed to support Tesla-only vehicles when they were put in place. And that means that the post for the electric charger tends to be on the right side of the lane markings that you're pulling into. And the reason for that is all Teslas have their charge port on the driver's side rear of the vehicle. So that means that for other vehicles, which there's really been no standard for where to put electric vehicle port, you may have it at different locations. My Mach-E had the charge port at the driver's side front location of the vehicle. That's something you got to keep in mind, that doesn't work too well with the Tesla Superchargers if they're on the right side of the lane marking. The thing I want to point out is be courteous. You may have to park on the right side of the lane. In that case, you might leave a particular lane open because Tesla might not be able to park and charge there also. So you've got to keep in mind that there is this compatibility issue with superchargers and vehicles that have their charge ports on the front driver side and the rear passenger side. You know, Tesla works well for the rear driver side and the front passenger side, but not the others. So keep that in mind. The cables are short. Now, the good news is the V4 cables are much longer and the posts are in the middle, so they should be able to reach to any charge port of any vehicle. In the future, this is only going to get better, but that's the current state. And be considerate and courteous when you're charging your non-Tesla vehicle at a supercharger. Like I've said, in many of my videos, I think you'll find that they are the gold standard as far as superchargers go. It seems like today, both price-wise, reliability, availability, and number. I hope you enjoyed this video today and learned something about charging non-Tesla vehicles at a Tesla Supercharger. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.